Hi everyone, this is the digital experience team conversion teams. Not retro, I always get it all mixed up. Our demos from January 15th to January 26th, or January 15th to January 28th. Sorry, I'm looking at the milestones and not the iteration. That was not the best starting. I'm going to start by sharing our mascot for this iteration. Share screen. It is a beautiful cat skydiving. Don't know where the parachute is, but I hope that the cat pulls the parachute because that'd be ideal. But I'll jump into what I've been working on for the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, the big focus has been on site reliability and site stability. There's a huge epic that we put together and set up an MVC1 and we worked through it. And honestly, we did a great job. I think we delivered more than we promised, and it was a really good iteration. One of the first steps was just understanding the www pipeline. Like there is code in there that's over 20 years old, 15, 20 years old. It's terrifying to go in there and changing things that have been working for 8 years in a row or however long. So just understanding it was a huge milestone, and getting other people like Chad involved. We had some SRE people involved. We had like people from all over GitLab giving feedback on what's going on with these jobs. So it was really helpful. And on top of that, we removed the artifacts. So that means that www no longer publishes blog and buyer experience content. So we were seeing some weird behavior where the blog would get updated, but nobody updated the blog. And that's because in this other project, it was getting updated in this pipeline. So I won't go through the whole, what changed technically. There's an epic, we can view it, and there's diagrams on how it works. But just from those changes alone, we were seeing like review apps in www are now 52% faster. So they're coming up in like 5 minutes instead of 10. We're seeing a lot of cleanup in that repo happening a lot faster. And then on top of that, we made another change. That's pretty significant. Right now, we're throttling all our requests to Contentful because we're hitting rate limit errors. So we found a workaround, let's say temporarily, that just ignores the rate limit errors, which is not ideal. And it's probably not the best way to do it, but it works and things are a lot faster. So the buyer experience pipeline, production pipeline, is now 20% faster. So the time it takes to production is down, I think it's like 4 minutes. The blog is almost 50%. So we were at 20 minutes for a blog production pipeline, and now we're down to 10. And John will talk on it more, but I think we can get it down even more. And the review apps are down like another 25%, and then www is now down another 25%. So we're seeing like massive improvements up front, and this is only the beginning. This is only MVC1. And like I said, this was a great effort by John, Mateo, and myself to just kind of stick in, and we had a lot of long calls on Zoom to go through some of these issues, but I'll let John speak on some other changes that he made.
Thank you. Well, these 2 weeks I have been working, as Nathan said, in some bugs that I will mention later. But first, rate limiting. So I'm working right now in the way we are building our routes and building our pages to avoid having a lot of HTTP requests that can be reduced to only a few. We can reduce, let's say, from 5,000 queries to only 100 queries, and that I hope will decrease the build time in our blog pipeline. If this works, we can replicate it in buyer experience with a little more complexity because we have some other things and mappings that we need to take care there. But I'm hopeful that this will work. Aside from that, I have been working on some fixes and bugs. The first one was solution pages was returning 404 for certain pages. I found that it was the way we were fetching our routes from solutions in Contentful. I fixed that. Now all our solutions pages are working as expected. I fixed in the blog, the search was not working. So I fixed that, adding a new event in the blog. And I fixed the links in our project experience project. Some links were not redirecting people to the correct localized page. I fixed that. I modified the mixing in order to fix all these issues. Let's hope it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, I fixed that. I'm still working on the migration of the Gartner Magic Quadrant page. It's still a slow process because I have been working on some more important things, but that is still ongoing. And that's all for me. Next one is Margaret.
Yep. So for this iteration, I mostly work on GitLab Duo updates for the GitLab Duo page and our pricing page. Just removing our storage and computed cards for self-managed, also adding our chat feature to the add-ins cards, and updating our localized content for those add-ins cards. I also worked on on the 404 error in the blog page, but that has been tricky, trying to replicate and try to find the issue. So now I'm just following a new lead. Maybe the problem is with our JS, with the review app, but I'm just like testing things around. And I schedule a working session with John and with Mateo. They seem to have a lot of more knowledge about the blog and things that might be failing there. So I'm hoping that we can work something out. I also started working on updating the press page to just feed from the existing contentful entries instead of creating new cards for each press release. So that will allow us to like not replicate content. So creating an entry and then creating a card for that same entry. Instead, we're just gonna feed from the directly from the entries that exist. So that's gonna roll back to the next iteration, I think, because my priority is gonna continue being the 404 error. So I think that's it for my iteration. I think next is Tina.
Hi, I've been working on very different things, listening to you all. So I've been focused on pulling ideas and opportunities from our customer journey work, ongoing customer journey work, and trying to mold them into bodies of work for next quarter. This kind of involved getting my head back into our research, finding post GitLab Duo Pro releases, reviewing feedback and comments from our cross-collaborative partners, hosting customer journey office hours, and a brainstorm session with our UX team. So from there, I've started creating issues, and I'm ready to jump on them for next iteration. I was actually really excited about one, so I actually already started working on it. Sorry, Philza. It's not even an issue yet. So aside from that, I've been also working on the platform page. We want to promote Duo Pro on the page. And before starting that work, I wanted to do some due diligence and took a peek at the page performance and engagement in quantum metrics, and noticed that there's a lot of engagement on the lifecycle table, but none of the links are active. So I'm gonna dive deeper a little bit into that page to kind of make bigger improvements than just adding a Duo Pro banner. So those are really the two things that I've worked on for this iteration. Nothing to show yet. And that's it for me. Dilsa or Nathan?
Yeah, thank you for watching the conversion release video. I got it this time. I got the proper team, the proper meeting. We'll see everybody in the retro in a few hours. Thank you.